So it felt like really nice after it was in, but that initial like shoving it in there was just super painful. But
Welcome back to Privy. Privy is a podcast about bathrooms. Recorded this week. I'm on location, as it is, at a friend and
a mentor.
We're already going. Yeah. So this one could get off the rails really quick, but we're gonna see here. But yeah, we've just to intro it here, and this is gonna hit you later. But I've been in an ongoing conversation with some folks I work with about how many squares of toilet paper is the appropriate number of squares for normal human use. And I'm on record saying it's 3, so you can...
3?
Yeah.
What? 3 squares?
3 squares total, yes.
When you wipe?
Yeah, when you wipe your poop.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 100%. So, I'm joined this week. We might as well just get him right on. By Austin Kent. Austin and I have been friends for 8-9 years.
Something like that. Yeah.
We met in college. Those rowdy Bible college days, as rowdy as those can get. Being rowdy in Bible college essentially means you skip chapel to play Pokemon cards. So,
yeah, I just want to play video games. You're the ones who made me rowdy.
Right. And that's exactly it. Well, perfect. So tell us a little bit about who you are, because I know who you are, but yeah. I know everything about you.
My name is Austin Kent. I'm 28.
He's not single.
I'm not single. I'm very married. We're getting ready to have a baby girl here, July 27th. Super excited. Had our second ultrasound already. Everything's going good, and getting ready to be a dad, pretty much.
Awesome. Are you just super stoked, or?
I'm super stoked.
Yeah,
that's my first kid.
Is there any not existential dread, but just
no.
Oh no, this is coming down the line.
No, I've been wanting to have kids since I was a kid, and I still am a kid, kind of. So yeah, there's no part of me that is scared or regretful in any way.
That's so cool. That's awesome. What about in the diapering and bathroom, the things that come out of the bottom?
I feel like I'm ignorant to a lot of what parenting entails, and so that I think if I knew what I needed to be prepared for, I would be more nervous than I am. But I've never babysat or gone through any of that before, so I'm just thinking about all the the smiles and the walks in the park and all the fun stuff. So I'm not really thinking about all that stuff because it'll be here, and I'm sure it'll be all I think about when I have the kids. So right now I'm just gonna enjoy the excited sleeping in and
absolutely. That's exactly right. The only thing that I want to tell you that I wish someone would have told me is when she's born in the hospital, that first diaper, the poop is like black tar.
That's what I've heard.
And it's weird. I'm glad you've heard it because I didn't know that.
Yeah, and to not freak out.
And I thought that there was something gravely wrong with my son. And so you're already ahead of where I was. Because you know that the black tar dookie's coming. But yeah.
Is it like a thicker?
It's just it's just impossibly sticky and black.
Like a big black booger almost kind of?
Kind of, but it just is it just keeps wiping. You know how do
people save it?
No, they don't save that. They save the umbilical cord.
There's a lot of people who save a lot of weird first things.
Oh, people do a lot of things with the umbilical cord. We're gonna get into that.
My mom still has. We were going through a photo album when we were home this last weekend, and she still has an envelope all of our first haircut hair. Is that normal? That normal thing? Which I was like, oh, I was like, I opened it and I was like, what is in this? And my mom was like, oh, it's your brother's hair from his first haircut.
I think it's
25 years ago.
Yeah. See, that was what I was gonna say. Is I think doing that is normal. Yeah, I think honestly, when you turn 18 to 20 is when that either disappears. Or I think what would be even creepier is then they hand it off to your significant other. It's hey.
Or they throw it up as you're walking out at your wedding.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, they just give it.
I've told my wife I like something like weird, creepy. I was kind of joking, but also kind of wondered like if it'd be feasible. Like you save all of your kids' like toenails every time you clip them until they get married, and then you give them in little baggies to everybody at the ceremony, and they throw the toenails. Like sometimes they do bubbles or they do like for the send off.
Yeah,
toenails.
So you're getting ready to have that moment where you're going to have to decide if you want to do it. Because that first toenail clipping is probably only about 6 to 8 months ahead of your future here. So probably, I don't know. My wife probably is going to be like, dummy, you do it faster than that. I suck at clipping kids' toenails. So
I suck at clipping dog toenails.
Yeah. I don't know which is worse. I'm
My wife. Fearful. Every time you click it, there's just that part in you that's like, oh my gosh, are you gonna wail in pain on this one?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Am I gonna ruin them?
Yeah. Well, and it's the same for kids because it's like they can't sit still.
Mm-hmm.
They refuse. Just outright cannot do it. So, no, it doesn't stop. So your job, if you don't mind sharing, I don't know if you're even allowed to. It's top secret, high security. But what do you do for fun/living? I don't know if it's fun.
Fun/living?
Yeah,
like around the house.
Like you go to work. What do you do?
Oh, so you want to know what I do for a living and what I do for fun are two different things.
Not always.
Not always.
Depends on the day. Am I right?
I mean, I do have fun at work. I work at so I work up in Woodburn at for OIA, which is Oregon Youth Authority, and I am a group life coordinator, which is a fancy way of saying that I babysit criminals.
Oh,
I pretty much just watch. Supervision is like the main part of the job, but we also are supposed to like interact with them, and we work specifically on a drug and alcohol unit, so there's a lot of treatment and stuff involved. But 90% of the day is making sure kids don't get in fights and telling them what not to do.
Well, perfect. So at that job, I always joke with you and our other friend Gavin that the kids that I have, I often send them right up the valley to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of my students this last week, so he introduced me to a thing called the Glock Dookie. Have you ever heard of this working in your field of expertise?
Glock Dookie?
Yes, the Glock Dookie.
I don't know if I'm familiar.
Perfect. You're better off. You're better off as a person not familiar. But in short, what this item is it somebody has taken poop, pee, all the anything that you can get out of your body and more, ketchup.
Yeah.
And you stick it in a water bottle and you use that to like harass fellow
people.
Yeah, I don't want to say inmates because I don't feel like that's not.
Oh, you're saying we do it to them?
No. Like they do it to each other as
Okay.
like intimidation, and I don't know if they have that much contact where you're at, but like
they do. Oh yeah, they do.
Oh, perfect.
They all sleep in the same giant room together. They're not even in individual cells, so they sleep in dorms, and they all share a giant bathroom, and they all share a big day room for living. There have been lots of. I haven't personally been involved, thankfully, in any kind of bodily fluid. But it happens a lot. Like people mostly spit. People get spit on. But there have been worse things thrown at staff by youth.
That just sounds absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Semen is actually common.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
One of the things they don't usually do it to each other because if you like spit on someone or if you throw some kind of bodily fluid on someone else, that's considered assault and they can actually catch charges for that. But if you ejaculate into your friend's shampoo bottle, no one can prove it's you. And
such a good word.
You get a laugh as they bathe themselves in it. Yeah.
Perfect. Great word, ejaculate. It's scientific at that point. So, yeah. So not a Glock Dookie, but something maybe much worse.
People pee. Pee is the most common, probably. But also pee. Fun fact is actually a commodity a little bit. People will collect it in prison because you can use it to pass tests with later. I found pee in like toothpaste caps and all kinds of. I thought it was like drugs of some kind at first. I'm like, oh, they're making like alcohol. And so me and a friend. This actually happened like a few months ago. we found a toothpaste that was hidden underneath a table in a weird spot where you don't keep toothpaste. And I'm like, okay, there's something in this that's not normal. So I took it in the back and I smelled it, but it still had like the minty.
You didn't.
Okay,
smell
I didn't
it,
know what I figured it was. My first thought was they're making alcohol.
But you
because we were gonna join an alcohol unit. It wasn't my first thought. Anyways, so I was like, oh, they're definitely making. I saw it was liquid in there, and so I was like, oh, they're definitely making drugs. But I'm like, I can't. I'm because people. That's another thing we have quite commonly is they'll use juice or bread and
Right.
sugar to make pruno. It's alcohol in prison essentially. So that happens quite more frequently. We find that more frequently. So that's what my first response was like, oh, they're making alcohol. And so I'm smelling this thing, and it still has the mint flavor kind of from the toothpaste in there. So I'm like, oh, what? And so I'm having other staff smell it. We're trying to figure out what it is. And then I end up calling my boss, and he's like, dude, it's piss. Like, throw it away.
Y'all are like passing it around like, hey, have you smelled this yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it was gross. Thankfully, I had gloves on, but still, I was like, oh, man. Can't unsmell that. Once I knew what it was, it made sense. I was like, oh, that does smell like piss mixed with toothpaste. But it's not
so good.
Not a smell you really become accustomed to.
Especially when it's not yours.
Yeah, especially when it's not yours.
Wow. Oh man. Also, we're not going all the way back because we moved on. But pee diapers smell worse than poop diapers sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, like when they pee and it just kind of sits for a little bit.
Yeah.
It just kind of gets mildewy.
See, I feel like it could be bad, but I was a caregiver for like a year and a half, and so
that's right.
This lady would like. I've had experience cleaning that kind of fecal matter in particular.
Oh, you're so
almost on a daily basis, and I'm sure it was. Yeah.
You're so ready for kids, dude. You're fine.
Vomit, on the other hand, is something we both.
Yeah,
are
so.
Like, yeah. I can't even smell vomit without.
Oh,
feeling
homie,
sick.
I had a girl I think she is. You know how. But she tossed cookies and then fell over in it at the high school.
Oh my god!
And it was just like. And I'm
that...
just like, listen, this is outside of this is other duties as assigned at this point. We need somebody else in here. This is above my expertise level.
I mean, you got janitorial experience, so
I know, but not when they're laying in the cleanup job. It's like, okay, you need more help than I'm able to provide.
Yeah.
So she'll be headed your way. Anyway,
not my way. Girls go down to the.
Oh shoot!
I only deal with males, thankfully.
Perfect. Yeah, dude, you're not wrong there. Like, yeah. Well, okay. So no Glock Dookie. And then the second thing I wanted to know is, have you ever heard of anybody passing notes via the toilet? So like, I think the way that this happens is they write the note, they stick it in like a Ziploc or something that they can, or like some sort of small container, and then they tie it off to like string from their clothes, and they actually run it down the sewer line. And then, I don't know how, but somebody else is able to retrieve it from the sewer line.
Oh, so you mean like two people from like...
Different cells.
Yeah,
different
yeah,
blocks.
or different yeah. No, mostly because of where I work, but I'm sure that something like that might have happened. I mean, the only place that might happen is... Because like I said, on our specific unit, everyone shares the same bathroom. And so they don't have cells. And the only time they're actually in their own rooms is if they're on an intake unit. So when they first come in before they go to their long-term unit, or if they go to isolation, then they're in an individual cell. So that might happen down there. I don't know. I don't work there, so it's not really ever been a problem.
Not your problem.
And they could, in theory, I mean, if you want to communicate with another unit, but we're talking like 200 feet you'd need to go at least in pipes. Like, it's a whole other building, so
yeah. No.
It'd be a little tricky. I don't know how if they could manage that. It more likely they just have a cell phone.
Yeah. I mean, somebody has to have smuggled one in on the backside. Phones, yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just up the old...
Even since I've been there've been 2 or 3 probably.
Up the B?
Oh, I don't know how they get it in.
Oh, don't ask, don't tell.
We find a lot of stuff. It's a lot harder to find the method because most of the time when we discover it, it's already in. Yeah. So we don't really always catch people in the act.
We don't need to know how they did it.
I don't know who has the biggest prison pocket.
Yeah. It's like a hot pocket, but less, not none, but less pepperoni and cheese. Not none.
Definitely a little pepperoni.
Little pepperoni. Lots of sausage links going right in. Anyway, cool. So I wanted to discuss briefly some college things that I took notes on.
Sure.
So, and feel free if you just want to like pull the escape hatch and go, this is too traumatic.
That's who I am. I can't be ashamed.
Okay, perfect. So, I'm gonna set the scene on this one. And the scene is it's as I remember it. Anna and I got back from Christmas break, and you had ridden up to the airport with our friend Gavin and I believe his fiance at the time, maybe wife. I don't know at what point. I think it was fiance. And we get in Gavin's car, and you're in the back seat, and you just have a full eye patch on. And I'm like, well, what in the heck happened? Is
that the first time you saw me with it?
I think it was not the first time I think it was the first time I saw you with the eye patch. Because I knew you had the eye patch, but I don't think I ever saw it.
Or that I had the eye thing, at least.
Yeah, so, like, tell us however much information you want about, maybe like a public service announcement about contact lenses.
Public service announcement? Yeah, they're meant to be used with contact solution and not tap water.
Yeah,
is the long story.
and I don't necessarily want to get into like what you did because that's your business. But I do want to get into the treatment.
Oh, the treatment.
Yes, the treatment. Okay. Because that's
a long story.
Yeah. Because this is after trips up and down the valley from Salem to Portland.
Yeah.
To a special eye doctor.
Yeah.
And the final treatment and correct me if I'm wrong, to eradicate the bacteria from your eye was so good. It's so audible, and I don't plan on changing it. Was to put a contact lens on your eye.
That wasn't the final treatment. So
I don't know about the final treatment.
No, the you do. You just didn't know it was the final treatment. So the you want me to start at the beginning or
wherever you want? I'm just ready.
Yeah. So long story short, around Christmas time, about a week before Christmas, had been using tap water for contact solution at a house that was quite less than 100% sanitary.
Fair.
For about 2 weeks, I was doing that, and then on Christmas Day, when I was in Wenatchee, after I traveled down there to be with my family in Central Washington, my eye started hurting. And I didn't know why. I figured it was just like an irritant, like my contact had been in too long or something. So it was on Christmas Day, I remember, because we just finished opening up presents. And so I went to bed, and the next morning it was worse. And I was like, oh, that's not good. And so it got worse over that day to the point where it hurt to open my eye. And so the next day we went to an eye doctor in Wenatchee, and they gave us like an irritant little thing to put in it. And over the course of the next 3 or 4 months, I went to the doctors in Salem trying to get different prescriptions, and they couldn't figure it out. And so then I went up to this guy the specialized eye doctor up in Tigard, Oregon, and he was trying a few different things and he couldn't figure it out. So he sent me all the way up to OHSU to the freaking college, where they like looked at my eye through like this microscope that like went on my eye.
Oh, nuh-uh.
And then they found like a living like parasite in my eye. And so I had they used this microscope to look at my eye, and then what they found was a living like bacteria, aka a parasite, essentially, in my eye. Microscopic, but there was a bunch of them. And so the way that they had to counteract this parasite was with another living culture that they was basically going to like eat it in my eye, kill it for me. But in the meantime, my eye had sustained a lot of damage from all the things that they've been putting in it, and so to help it heal and to protect the eye while it was receiving the treatment, they had developed this I guess it was fairly new, I don't know at the time, technology where they used a contact lens that had been made out of a human placenta.
Yes,
aka afterbirth. So they now, and this thing, at this point, I'd probably been, I don't even know how many months into this, and it had been a pain the entire time, but this was one of the most painful things I have ever had happen to me, even to this day. So the size of this contact lens, so I wear contacts, and that's how this whole thing started. and they're usually about a little bit smaller than your entire eye. This whole thing, I swear I don't remember like super well what it looked like, but at the time it looked so big that like I could wrap my entire eyeball in it. It was like this big.
Oh no!
It was huge.
What the heck?
Can't see that on the podcast, but
no,
it was probably like I want to say it was like 2.5 inches, 3 inches long. And they to get it in, they had to like hold my eye.
The finger size he's holding up is larger than a Powerade bottle cap. Like it's not safe.
It was huge. They had to open my eye and wedge it up inside of there.
So great.
And then wedge it, and they would give me a little numbing thing, but you can't really get like a shot in your eye, so they would give me some numb drops. You shouldn't
do that.
It was excruciatingly painful.
Oh gosh, I didn't realize it was that big.
No, it hurt so bad. And when they put it in there, I essentially couldn't see anything out of it. It was like almost like a shield. It wasn't really a contact lens. I only say that because that's the only thing I can compare.
It's like looking through like a.
It's like an eye patch that goes in your eye, basically.
Gosh,
and so, but it had like these healing like properties to it. But when it's first on your eye, it stings like, and there's nothing you can do. You can't like grab it or touch it or
just take it.
Just sit there and just. It's every time you get it. So I had to have this done 3 times.
Oh, and I didn't know that either. I thought this was a one and done.
No. Oh, every time it happened, I had the guy just leave the room, and I just sat there for about 5-10 minutes and just tried not to scream.
Oh my
and it was, and so he'd come back, and after like 10-15 minutes, it actually felt amazing because my eye had been through like so much pain, and it really helped. Like it shielded it from air and from everything else, and so it felt like really nice after it was in. But that initial like shoving it in there was just super painful. But the problem was it's
gosh,
as you wear it, it would, especially as we're putting the other drops in it, it would deteriorate until eventually it was completely like see-through. I could see right out of it, so they'd have to take it out and put a new one in. So the thing that was actually killing the parasite was the other like counter parasite that they were putting in my eye, and that was the thing that I had to carry around in a water bottle on ice.
Oh yes,
to all my classes, and I had to take it like every 3 or 4 hours.
The magical hydro flask.
And so I had to stay cool, and I had to take it like 3 or 4 times a day.
Oh,
and so
man.
My solution to that was carry around a hydro flask, fill it with ice, and have this little squirt bottle thing inside of it. And every time I pulled it out, the ice would melt and go everywhere. And I'd just be fumbling around with it in class, and it dropping stuff in my eye.
Well, I feel like I didn't know that those eye drops were so crucial.
That was what actually killed the parasite.
I thought it was just to keep the thing on your eye wet or something.
No.
Like,
that was the counter parasite, and the placenta lens.
Yes,
that was just to like basically keep anything else from interfering with it, and to keep it safe while it healed. Because even after it was dead, my eye was still really fragile, and so they wanted to keep it on there. Like that third one, they wanted to put it on just so that nothing happened to it and didn't get scratched or anything. And even to this day, my right eye is still scarred from it. It's still, no matter how good of contact lenses I wear, it's always slightly blurry through my right eye.
Weird.
Yep. It's permanent damage.
Wow, man. It's war story. See, kids, don't go to college. Wait,
the worst part of the whole not the worst part, but one of the worst parts of the whole thing was just walking around with an eye.
Oh, we loved it. It was.
I look like people.
What's up, kids?
People wouldn't say things to me, but I know people would say things about me.
No, a lot of what happened, I'm going to shoot straight with you. A lot of what happened was later, people would come to Gavin and I and go, hey, like, is Austin okay? Like, what's up with his eye?
Yeah.
And we're like, it's a long story. Like, and then depending on who it was, we'd be like, just talk to Austin. He'll tell you about his eye. Well, man,
the whole ordeal after my last visit to the doctor was the following November.
Jeez.
So it started in December, almost a full year of going to doctors and dealing with this crap. So yeah,
that's spooky.
Yep, some lessons you learn the hard way.
Yeah,
but you're better for it, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
Wait, yeah. So the other thing that I learned, not the hard way, but through firsthand experience, is, and I don't know if this is the technical term for it, but we're gonna shoot for it. So, it's called odontorufophobia. And I'm probably saying that wrong. I suck at all the words.
Like fear of teeth or something.
Well, it's the fear of things going in your mouth, specifically tooth instruments.
Okay.
Now, there's not a fear of brushing teeth, but when we were in college, you would disappear at toothbrushing time, like some sort of mystery man Like, we all go brush our teeth, and Austin's gone, and we just didn't know where you went.
Yeah.
But then, like, I think it was the next year, we found out that you're going to the lobby to, like, brush your teeth.
I would go to a lot of different places. I would brush my teeth in the dorm or in the bathroom if it was late and, like, no one was there. But if there was a bunch of people in there and I thought it was going to be a while, I'd sometimes go to the lobby bathroom or upstairs.
Yeah.
Or
so
wherever.
When did this start? Your what is it exactly? You explain it.
I don't think it's teeth brushing exactly. I think it's just saliva.
Okay.
I think other people's saliva is just disgusting, and I don't like people seeing my saliva. It's just gross. I have gotten a lot better at it after getting married.
Uh-huh.
I can brush my teeth with her in the room, but if she like is looking at me or something, I'll be like, stop.
No, we're done here.
I still do not want to be anywhere near her when she's brushing her teeth. Like, if she's brushing her teeth, I'll leave.
We're out of here, yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I think it's just like gross because like all the spit and the bubbles
so
and
frothy
the,
and just,
yeah, exactly. The worst part is the kids at work spit all the time, and they hawk like loogies and stuff, and it's so gross. And they'll spit in the garbage cans like constantly.
Yeah.
And that like is something that like really I've managed to not let anyone there figure that out about me yet.
Yeah, that's wise.
But
That's
it's
wise.
so gross. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Teenagers will feed on that.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as they
Anything, yeah.
as soon as they figure out what gets you, they're just like, this is the one thing I will exist to do.
I never knew that was like I mean, maybe it's a little more extreme with me, but it's nothing I really thought was out of the ordinary until I got to college, really.
I think what really did it for us was when you told us, and we were probably much less respectful than your wife is. Because when you told us, it was like, oh, so we should go get our toothbrush and like
brush your teeth next to me in my bed
Yeah.
while I'm trying to fall
corner him while he's in bed and brush our teeth around him.
It amplifies it too when there's like three people and you hear
Yeah.
that like the
Yeah.
in the mouth.
Oh, yeah. That's so good. I can't wait. Yeah, but like, I think just to see you physically squirm, it was just unreal. It wasn't like, oh man, I don't like that. It was, this is almost causing you like mental harm.
I think I'm like learning to curb that a little bit. Like it's not as bad as it was for a time. But, yeah.
Perfect. Well, so I don't have any other like big stories from college. If you have any from like that time of your life, or
Specifically bathroom related?
or
There was the only one that I remember vividly was
Yes.
you know what I'm going to talk about? the one that so it was
Is it the car?
No.
Okay.
It's specifically bathroom, but
Because I'm
I know what you're talking.
I'm hitting Aaron badly
I know
up
what
for
you're
that
talking.
one.
I know what you're talking about, but no, this isn't that. So this is me specifically.
Oh, yes.
So we there was like a parent like weekend where parents could come down and like go to your classes with you, and like it's like in the fall.
Yeah.
And I think they did it like every year, but I don't know. But I think it was it was either my freshman or sophomore year. This might have even been before we knew each other. I can't remember, but I really can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyways,
on,
anyways, it could have been sophomore year. Anyways, so I like to poop in privacy. I don't like pooping in a room with lots of people, and so I would like go down to like classrooms, buildings, like late at night, and go upstairs into the bathrooms and poop there because it's quiet and there's no one there, and I don't have to worry about anyone walking in on me or anything. And so I poop all over the place, and there's like 2 or 3 bathrooms that are like really secluded on campus that I knew about. But
yeah, that
when I was in a pinch, I would just go in the single person bathroom in the lobby in Davidson because I knew no one could walk in. Like, it's my own bathroom, you know. And so there's actually like a few stories about this bathroom, but the biggest one, the worst one for me, was when it was that parent teacher conference week, whatever. It wasn't conference, but it's college. It was like a orientate. I don't even know what they called it.
It's like a visit weekend.
Yeah, it's like a family visit weekend or whatever. And so a bunch of people's families were in town, and like some of them were like on the campus and in the dorms, like seeing their kids at college.
Yeah.
And I had to poop really bad, and it was probably like in the middle of the afternoon, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I went out to do my thing normally, and I went to that private bathroom in the dorm, in the lobby. And I went in there, and I was in the middle of taking a poop, when all of a sudden, Do you remember? Should I say his name or
say his name? We'll fix it later if it's a problem.
Yeah. Do you remember Josh? I think Ostring was that his name?
Perfect. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So Josh Ostring.
He was he had his grandparents in town. So his grandma and his grandfather were there, and I'm assuming because they were kind of old. So
shots fired.
They were there in the lobby apparently, and. You know how sometimes you forget to lock a door until it's too late?
Oh, no.
So I'm like just going to town in there. It's like, it stinks really bad. I'm just bad. And opens up, this door just swings open. Like no knock, nothing. Just whoo!
Surprise!
And there's this like 70-year-old lady with like gray hair. And she just kind of lets out like a, oh! And I didn't know what to do. I was just sitting there like, you've seen it. You've seen it all.
She didn't run away that quick.
She closed the door, but the thing is, like, there's only one way out of that bathroom, and it's right there in the lobby. And I didn't know how many other people saw that or what, and I was so embarrassed. I got up and I locked the door. I finished up in there, but I was terrified to come out because I thought she was still waiting because I figured she had to go.
Yeah,
and so I was like, oh my gosh, she's probably waiting for me to finish out there, and I don't want to see her again ever in my life. And so I went on Facebook and I started like messaging everybody I knew. And I was like, I am hiding in the Davidson bathroom and there's a grandma outside who just saw me pooping and I need someone's help to distract her. Please help.
So this is where I've heard of this story.
I think eventually, like, no one responded or anything. I think I got, like, a few, like, lols. I was like, yeah, thanks, dick.
Just laughing at him.
So eventually I just, like, opened the door and, like, bolted to the left and straight into the hallway and then, like, ran back to my room. And I was, like, that was the end of that. But it was just, like, that moment. The worst part wasn't even when she walked in. It was me sitting in there, like, trying to figure out how to leave without her seeing. Because I figured she seemed like one of those nice old ladies that was going to, like, come up to me and be like, I am so sorry about that. Like, I didn't want that. I just wanted, I just wanted to be gone and hide.
If you did, she would be like, I promise I didn't see anything. Which is the worst thing because that just means that she did.
It was pretty bad.
Oh, man. No, that's awesome. Like, man, I wish I would have been there. I wish I would have been. I wish I could have been Josh Ostrig's grandfather, so that way I could like do the triage.
Oh no! Yeah.
With her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I didn't. The only reason I knew it was them is because I'd seen them with him earlier in the day, like at one of the classes, and so it was like,
visiting. Dude, the only memory I have about Visit Weekend was Dr. D doing the spiel on Song of Solomon, and he walks in and he like looks up and there's just all the parents in the back row and he goes, huh?
Like he didn't even know they were there?
Yeah. Well, he realized they were there and he goes, well, today we're talking about sex. And then he just kept going, just didn't miss a beat.
Didn't
and I was
care
like,
at all.
This dude has it.
You know you're
down.
close to retirement when...
Hey, who knows, man? That guy, it's crazy to think that he used to be like in a rock band.
I didn't even know
back
that.
in the he used to be like a drummer or something for a rock band. Yeah, he's wild. Well, so I have a first. Do you want to talk about honey jars at all?
Honey jars. I mean,
you don't have to. It's a simple no will suffice.
I just don't really like. I honestly, I don't. You guys remember more about this than I do.
Perfect. So then that's all that needs to be said.
Okay.
So any other like bathroom stories? I have a few questions that I ask everybody, but they can kind of go rapid fire at the end. If you have any other pertinent bathroom stories about you or your brother, you know, you have a little brother. I'm sure he's got something that he would love for everyone to hear about.
I was trying to think of some before, but I haven't had too many like, other than things that like everyone experiences.
And I find that like, people really have one or two traumatic or like big bathroom things, and that's it. Yeah. And everything else is just little sprinklings all over the floor. Well, cool. So I have a few questions to ask, and the first is like I can almost verify one, but like, so what type of toilet paper are y'all? Charmin.
Yep, 100%.
The big beautiful bears.
My wife doesn't care. I do.
Wow.
It's the softest, fluffiest, and it's the best.
Are you doing the ultra strong red package or blue?
I don't know if I do that as often. But I think
he's reaching for it.
I just get the cheapest one, so probably not. But
that is a thick roll.
As long as it's Charmin.
My goodness, that's a thick roll.
I always get the Charmin.
Yeah, the big beautiful bears.
Yeah.
Well, hey, he's a Charmin man. He knows what he likes.
I also know it takes more than 4 squares. Is that your next question?
And that's. I'm on record saying 3 squares.
3
is all
squares.
It takes.
That's crazy.
Especially with that stuff's thick.
Yeah, but what do you fold it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a folder. That's
perfect. Go ahead. Tell us how you do it. You'll save me a question.
I think so. Like if I'm doing it, I just kind of do that. And then
that's a lot of sheet.
I crinkle it, and then
Jesus.
Sometimes I'll make like a nice little. There you go.
Huh.
There you go. I used to be a folder, but the problem with that is like I don't know. I feel like my fingers get closer than they need to the crack, to the hole, to the black hole.
You just gotta.
I feel like with more toilet paper, there's more of a barrier between like my fingers and my pooper.
Yeah, you just gotta keep things centered on it. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess I don't know. Either way, I just can't fathom 3 squares. That's insane to me.
Well, but it's organized 3 squares.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
that's that much.
And then you fold it.
You fold it in half
nicely.
And then fold it again.
I'm getting a live tutorial of what I do regularly. Now, I will say if what you did was wet, or you feel like there's going to need to be some aggressive happening, you go 1 or 2 extra squares.
I do 1 or 2 rolls like that. The first one, man. No, it probably is, but
no, but I also wipe like 5 to 7 times. So 5 to 7 times at 3 squares of wipe.
Okay, so you don't use the same. Okay,
yeah. Yeah, we're not going hard. Like
my dad used to explain how if you're ever lost in the woods, how to wipe with one.
Yes, absolutely.
1 square.
Oh, is this the finger trick?
The finger, yeah, or you
hook the finger through.
Yeah, or something like that. Where you he said like the first thing you do is you save the corners, like that.
Interesting.
And so you take off all the little corners.
Yep.
And then after that, you basically like put your finger through.
Yep,
and
this is it. This is the one.
Wipe it around, and then you just dig around in there, and then you use these
to root around in your scoop.
Clean off whatever you got on your fingers.
Yeah. Yep, that's...
Never tried it. Never want to. I think I would just wait till I found a bathroom.
I have not tried that, but I think I might, just for posterity's sake in the show.
Try it?
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first thing I've tried for this show. I mean, I'm sitting in your bathroom right now.
Some questions I don't need to know the answer to, But if you do,
some people do.
That's great. If I can get the answer from you, that's even better.
Perfect.
Without having to do it myself.
Yeah. And that's really 90% of the time, that's what this show is all about. So again, it's just a quick visual check, but are you a bar soap or a liquid soap lad?
Liquid soap.
Liquid soap. Yeah. Perfect.
I work at prison.
I don't understand the reference.
You don't understand the reference? Well,
no.
Don't go to prison.
I refuse. I wouldn't do well in prison. Wait.
No. Yeah.
There's no Pokemon Go in prison, so.
And I don't think anyone does well in prison.
Oh, some people do pretty well.
I think people get used to it.
I
don't know if they do well.
They do somebody. Something. Wow. What's your opinion on baths? How are you on baths?
I love baths. I take more baths than my wife.
You're gonna have to run me through your process here. So will you just come in and declothe and right into the bath? Are you good with that?
Pretty much, yeah.
That doesn't give you any anxiety?
Anxiety?
Yeah.
No, why would that give me anxiety?
Well, so for me, and I've shared here, I do not do baths.
What? Why?
Because you're like your own human stew. Like you're just kind of sitting in your own wet.
Marinate, yeah.
That's bad.
You're okay with wiping with 1 finger.
No.
You have a problem with sitting in a bath.
I'm okay. I'm okay with trying to wipe with 1 finger.
I will say that I don't usually use baths as the prime form of cleaning myself.
Right.
Like if I take a bath, especially if it's... I don't usually take them in the morning, so if I do take a bath, it's usually like when I get home from work and I'm tired and I just want to like sit,
relax,
and relax. Yeah, and so I'll my wife has gotten lots of like bath salts and stuff from like the you know, to pour in, or like the bath bombs. I love the bath bombs, but she never takes baths ever. I don't know that she's ever taken more than one or two that I've been aware of since we've been married. And so we had all these like stuff that we got from our wedding and from, you know, birthdays and whatever in my family before my family really knew that she didn't take baths. And so I've used almost all of it. Like we don't have any left. I've used it all. I've used the
Oh my god.
I'll pour the salts in and I'll use the bath bomb. And I've told her too, like, hey, if you want to get me a present for Christmas, like a cheap stocking stuffer thing,
you're just going hard.
Give me a bath bomb. I love baths. And also I mean, it's all like the more of that stuff you put in there too, the more you can kind of trick yourself into thinking that you're in some kind of cleansing.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, a gross.
The key modifier being trick myself.
Yeah.
No. Hey, good for you.
Which is funny though, because she likes hot tubs, and I don't really like hot tubs.
Oh, see, I'm all good on hot tubs because
like
the
hot
water's
tubs.
moving.
Yeah. It's the cleanliness part isn't the part about it that gets me. It's just it's too hot. Like I sit in there and I'm sweaty and I just don't enjoy it because it's too hot. It's too warm.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's fair.
I'd rather sit in a pool.
Yeah, pools are fine, except for you can get cryptosporidium, and that it's fun. Whatever. So you got any bathroom pet peeves? Anything bathroom related that just drives you absolutely bonkers?
Yes. When my
yep. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get ahead of you. He's not on the hook for the next 5 to 6 minutes. All right. I forced him to say this.
This is something actually to my wife's credit. I didn't think would ever stop doing this, and she pretty much has stopped completely.
Perfect.
My mom did this. I think anyone who's lived in a house with a woman of any kind has probably experienced this.
I know what's coming.
Yep, the hair on the shower.
Ding, ding, ding.
The hair on the shower wall.
Yep. Circle gets the square.
I don't understand this. My sister used to do it. My mom used to do it. And as soon as we were here, I saw they appear. You know, you get in there for the shower, and they're just on the wall. And I told her, like, that is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I can't stand it.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember the last time I saw one.
Yeah.
Like,
dude,
I don't know if she wipes them down now or what she does, but they're gone.
I've watched my wife's trick, and you just kind of take the finger and swirl, and it creates just a little like hair nugget, and you just throw it away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the trick I've witnessed.
Yeah. That's one thing I really appreciate about her.
Yeah.
I was like, that was one of those things I expected that I was just going to live with for the rest of my life, you know?
Yeah.
The little hairs on the shower, but yeah.
So, do y'all fight over which way the toilet paper faces here?
No, we both know that it goes over the top.
You both feel that that's right.
We both know that that's right.
Okay.
You're not underneath, are you?
I am convinced it doesn't matter.
I'm convinced you're wrong.
It
goes over the top.
This is we can't settle this now. So just the hair and the toothbrushing, but like that's that.
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I mean, not that I can really think of like pet peeves. I mean, I'm assuming you mean things that other people do in the bathroom.
Yeah, or that you're like, I wish I could change this about myself.
In public bathrooms, there's plenty of pet peeves.
Yes,
I don't get people who graffiti. Like sometimes it's entertaining to read, but it's like, especially at my work, it's like you live here. Like why are you guys like making your own bathroom look like a pigsty? Like it makes no sense to me. I mean, I don't know. Or people who like carve into the glass on like a public restroom. Like
that's
doing?
Annoying. Yeah,
that annoys me. Or people who just throw stuff.
Yeah,
like you walk into a restroom and there's just like an entire roll of toilet paper on the ground.
Yes.
Like, why?
My favorite is when you walk in and the pointless like potty seat covers. They've pulled one, but they got the whole package out, and it's all over the floor. And it's like, come on.
Yeah, thanks for ruining that for anyone else.
Yeah.
I don't use those though.
I don't either. No, I can't figure them out.
I used to like be sensitive about that, but then I was just like, well, now I just make, if there's any like liquid on the seat, I've even got to the point where I'll just wipe it off and then sit on it.
100%.
Like, so I used to look for a clean one, but I was like, whatever.
The seat covers thing is like, every time I put one down, I can't get the flap to go the right way, and I'll go on the front, and then like it gets in the water, and then when I shift to wipe, it just falls in.
Yeah.
But if I put it in the back, the poop hits it.
Oh yeah, I hate that when you're trying to move around or you like stand up for something, and then now it's like covering your butt or something, or it
sticks to your butt.
It's a mess.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah. And I think it's funny too that like places will be so quick to like have those for you to protect your butt.
Yeah.
And yet you have to, there's no way of like opening the door without using your hands.
Right.
And I guarantee you there's a million more germs on that door handle.
Oh,
Then you're going to get on your butt.
It's,
like,
yeah, the toilet seat is definitely not the worst culprit for the bathroom. I'm pretty sure like sink surfaces are the worst.
Your own phone.
Yeah.
Your own phone is like, most people do not clean their phones on a regular basis.
I regularly, once a week, just lick the surface of my phone.
Just to keep your alert.
Yeah. I
immune system up.
Yeah. Who needs vax? No. So,
excuse me.
What? No, you're good. What food establishment messes you up the worst? Like, just does you dirty?
Probably any kind of Thai food. I do not really like Thai food. Anything with like curry or like spicy stuff.
Curry.
I don't like eating anything that's hot or spicy.
Yeah.
Or sour for that matter. I just don't really do that stuff. But honestly, I can eat fast food, Taco Bell, McDonald's, any of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really affect me.
So Thai food. Huh.
Yeah. I mean, stuff gives me gas, like if I eat beans or broccoli or
lights
whatever. Yeah, but I don't really. I have a pretty tough stomach, I feel like.
Yeah. Hey, that's the way to go. So I don't know if you were aware of this, but when we were in college, I don't know if you remember Matt Gibson. You remember him?
Mm.
He was one of the like ping pong golf ball guys down the hall with all the cinder blocks.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that. He came up, or probably didn't come up with, but he taught me about the dark shower. Have you ever taken a dark shower?
Like a shower in the dark?
Yeah. Shower, lights off.
Not intentionally.
Okay. Well, it'll change your life.
Why?
It's like a sensory deprivation thing. I'm just mostly spreading the good news of the dark shower right now.
You can't just close your eyes.
No, it's different. There's something about having your eyes all the way open and not being able to see while you shower. It's just better.
I don't know.
Well, so if you haven't done that, have you ever tried to eat an orange in the shower? Or have you ever tried to eat or drink anything in the shower?
Not usually. I mean, I have like been eating something and then like will put the rest of it in my mouth before I get in.
Yeah.
I don't usually.
So not active.
No.
Okay.
Mostly just because it'll get my food wet.
Yeah. But like, I think the notion is like something like an orange. You're gonna get a mess anyway. You might as well just get in the shower.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's never really occurred to me. It's one of those things that.
There you go.
I do have a problem with like eating on the toilet. I don't get people who do that.
In one end, out the other, huh?
No.
Yeah.
No. That's weird to me to eat where you defecate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah.
But sometimes you have to.
Yeah, sometimes you don't.
You get a slice of pizza. You're at youth group. The only place away from all the teens is the bathroom. You go in there.
You don't eat pizza with your youth?
No, I eat it with them, but like when you just need a second, eat your pizza in peace. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm gonna go toss one back in the bathroom.
See, I don't find that. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to. I would feel more peace eating the pizza in front of them than on a toilet.
Oh no, it's not an in front of them thing. It's like, can I eat this pizza without some kid, like,
I'd rather have the kid annoy me
shouting YOLO in my ear?
Yeah,
or some nonsense.
I'd still rather have that.
Hey, fair enough. We're all different. Have you ever performed a waffle stomp?
No, but I have. Maybe it's kind of on my bucket list. I've always wanted to poop in a urinal. That's like my thing.
Hey,
I've always wanted to poop in like, those like urinals that. Have you ever been to Judson Middle School here in Salem?
Are these like the ground urinals?
No, they're the ones that kind of look like, they're almost like bowls, but they stick out from the.
Oh no, I don't know.
It's almost like a toilet bowl, but it's a urinal, and it sticks out really far, and you could almost like sit on one and poop in it.
And it's a urinal.
But the only problem is there are no dividers or anything there. Like, they're all just next to each other. So if anyone walks in, also it's a middle school.
So you're gonna go to jail.
Yeah. But there's I've always thought it would be interesting to try and poop in a urinal, but I've in theory thought about how it would work to like poop in the shower, but I feel like I haven't ever lived in my own place, and I feel like if anyone I lived with found out that I did that, they would be less than excited about it.
They are. They are when they find out. They are
when they find out. All right.
They're less than excited.
I can't say it's something that I like need to do before I die, but maybe if I was ever at a camp, and I was with a bunch of weirdos, maybe.
spirit moves.
Yeah.
Well, would you be more inclined to do that or just like poop and try to catch it and like toss it in the toilet?
No, that's not happening. If I'm gonna toss it in the toilet, why wouldn't it just go in the first place?
Because you don't want to get out of the shower all wet. Like,
I will say that something about how wet poop is affects my desire to touch it. Like there's been times where I've been out in the yard and I like been trying to take care of my dog's poop and it's been out there for a while. It's all crusty and like dry.
Yeah.
And I almost just want to like pick it up and throw it in the thing because the shovel's like on the other side of the yard. I'm like, it's
so much easier.
But when it's wet and it's like hot, that's gross.
Yeah. We used to throw cow turds at each other in high school.
Yeah.
In Montana, it was like pine cone fights, but it was just like cow chips. Just.
I've definitely been over at my friend Seth's house because he lives kind of like on a farm almost.
Yeah.
Like they have horses and stuff. I've been over there before and picked up like we've had like dirt clod fights. Dirt clod. What do you call them? Like
yeah.
They're dirt and
dirt
throw them and they explode. Yeah. We've done that before, and I've picked one up and been like, "This is weird," and definitely had it been cow or horse poop.
This is a special dirt clod.
And I was kind of just like, and I had already like broken it apart. And, like, I was in it, and I was like, yeah, this is.
And then just like the cap of like toothpaste stuff, you smelled it.
Yeah, tasted it.
Get your snoot right in. Actually, you can eat. You would not. Well, I won't say you wouldn't, but you're less likely to get sick from cow and horse poop because they eat plants.
Really? Than your own poop?
Yes. Because the meat, the bacteria feeds on the proteins, like the meat proteins more.
Yeah. I've even heard that drinking your own urine, especially if you like drink a lot of water during the day, isn't even that, because it's like 90% water.
Yeah. It's supposed to be sterile, but I don't. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's not a question you need answered.
Well, cool. That's all the questions and all the things I have for you. Do you have anything that you want to leave folks with, or any parting remarks?
Yeah, lock the door if you don't want anyone in the building walking in on you.
Perfect. It's good advice all around.
I even locked the door here.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. I my wife always gets mad at me because I will poop before I shower, and so.
Okay. Oh, but then you don't unlock in between?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And I lock it. Yep. But I just lock doors like behind me in general, so I don't even know if that's a bathroom thing. Maybe it's from that. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey.
But I go out the door. I lock everything. Like I just lock doors behind me. Huh. And that's also part of like where I work too. So like.
Yeah.
But I will definitely get in here and lock the door, poop, and then forget to unlock it, get in the shower, and then she'll be mad because I need to go.
I mean, that's
use my makeup or whatever.
I just don't lock bathroom doors like ever.
Yeah,
unless it's like a stall and I'll latch the stall. But like
you're looking for, you're waiting for that opportunity to.
I just
traumatize someone's grandma.
For me, it's like a safety thing. Like I want to know who the intruder is before they try to kill me. Like
I see.
Now I can pop it open and I can get the element of surprise on them. No, I don't know. Well, cool. Well, thank you for letting me set up all my nonsense in your bathroom.
Yeah, this is fun.
And harass
thanks
you
thanks for letting me be part of it.
Yeah. And thank you all for listening. You get to see the weird, shameful ending that I hate doing. You know how like you ever watch your dog poop and they have like they're like. That's how I feel every time I do the ending where I'm like, hey, you should like come check out the show. It'll be really great. Send me an email. No, but yeah, follow us on social media at Privycast. Send us an email, privycast@gmail.com. I'm going as fast as I can. We'd like to thank, and we have to thank, we'd like to though, Kevin MacLeod for the use of Barroom Ballet as our intro and outro music. You can find Kevin's music at incompetech.com. His music is licensed under Creative Commons License Attribution 4.0. Thanks, Kevin. This has been another episode of Privy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here in your own home, in your own bathroom. And now, as always, don't forget to flush.